You're welcome to I'm Not Repeating Myself podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and I hope you heard what I said the first time because I'm not repeating myself. Glad everybody could be with me today on this good Monday, excuse me. Hope everybody had a great weekend, safe weekend. It's hot out here. It's hot. June kicked in the door blazing, blazing, blazing. So I hope y'all staying cool around here, man. Hope y'all staying cool. I hope y'all continue to chase them goals, put in that work, put in that effort. You know, that's something I stress all the time, man. And ultimately, have confidence in yourself, man. Confidence is another big factor. You gotta have confidence even during the lows whenever you chasing a dream, whenever you chasing a goal. You're gonna have some days where shit just ain't sticking. But you gotta keep going because if you don't have no confidence in yourself, nobody else gonna have no confidence in you. That is a very, very key component when you out here doing your thing, man. So please continue to have confidence in yourself, man. And let's go ahead and get into this new week, man. Have a great week. So, starting off, man, we had some news regarding Clipse and UMG, their big fallout. Clipse had an interview that dropped on GQ magazine. Very good, very good interview, by the way. Good to see Malice back. Good to see Pusha T back together and them, speaking on music and everything. But one of the biggest things that came out of this was this whole falling out with UMG. So Pusha had basically said that they had to leave Def Jam due to an issue with a verse that Kendrick had on their upcoming album, Let God Sort 'Em Out. And I think it was on Whips and Chains. So I'm gonna read this part of the article. So Pusha can barely contain his disgust recounting how the stalemate with Def Jam played out. They wanted me to ask Kendrick to censor his verse, which of course I was never doing, he explains. And then they wanted me to take the record off. And so after a month of not doing it, Steve Golly, the lawyer over there, was like, well, just drop the clips. But that can't work because I'm still there solo. But if you let us all go. Let me get into the next one. Sure enough, Def Jam eventually agreed to release Clips and drop Pusha as a solo artist, freeing the duo up to shop for a new home with a finished Clips album and plenty of more music in their pockets. Ultimately, Pusha says the endeavor was gratifying. It felt good to even see how other labels were buying for the project. Now, as they teased last week with a picture in front of the labels playing a signal, they ended up at Jay-Z's Rock Nation, where they feel fully supported and energized. I think that synergy, just in a rap sense, is going to speak volumes, Pusha says of the partnership. Now, I found this very interesting because I remember the announcement last year was that this was around October 2024, that Clips had signed, they had just signed a deal with Def Jam. So I find this very, very interesting in terms of what was going on. A part of me feels like this is not really about a verse. It's because my whole thing is this, especially so quickly, because if UMG is saying that they needed to censor Kendrick's verse, doesn't that support Drake's case against UMG that they collaborated against him when Not Like Us dropped and all this other shit, and they would look at type. I don't to me. I'm not no music legal expert. Let me go ahead and start by saying that I'm not a music legal expert. But why would UMG basically give Drake the alley oop on that side? Like why would they do that? I don't know. I just have some questions as regards to that whole falling out. I truly don't feel like it's really over the verse. I'm not calling Pusha T a liar. It just looks funny to me because we all know the whole back and forth that UMG and Drake has been having. He's saying they doing this and all that. So if you're saying that, oh well, you need to take Kendrick's verse off here, you're basically supporting his claim. You're basically supporting it. Like I don't know. I found it very very odd, and especially the time because y'all just signed a Def Jam in October, and you're out the deal this quick. And reportedly, and Pusha confirmed on his Twitter account that Steven Victor, his manager, they paid 7 figures to get out that deal. Let me go ahead because Steven Victor also had an interview. I can't remember exactly what platform it was on. Let me see this. So it says, how quickly were you able to get another deal in place? It happened simultaneously with getting out of the previous deal. It took a couple of weeks for us to figure out the paperwork. Again, it was a lot of money. We kept on going back and saying, can we pay you this amount of money? And part of the profit, can we figure out a deal where we pay you as the guys make money from the new release instead of coming up with this large sum of money right now. They said no. They were like, we want our money and we want some of the profits. Once I knew that we had in principle a deal in place with Def Jam to leave, I got on the phone with Jay-Z. I was like, look at what's happening. We've been talking about doing XYZ together. There's an opportunity here to do this album. What do you think? He hit me back right away, like, you just made my day. Let's figure it out. What do we need to get done? I went back to Pusha and said, listen, Jay's going to give us a very artist-friendly deal. We get to own our masters, and they'll put the marketing power of Rock Nation behind it. You guys, you guys are friends. It's a great outcome. We worked out this deal in less than 24 hours. So, next question. You had to pay Def Jam a lump sum to get out, also give a cut of what you make off the new record. Yeah, we had to give them a cut also, which is insane. But the good thing about it is that Pusha is control of his future now that he has 3 deals in 3 different places. At the beginning of his solo career, we put out records independently with mass appeal. He owns those records. Yeah, man. So for that to happen so quickly, that was just very, very telling. They asked him how many solo albums did Pusha have left on his deal with Def Jam. I don't really want to talk about that. He had like 3 albums left. So you had to pay 7 figures to get out the deal? He said yes. Like I said, I've never seen nothing like that kind of spiral out of control this quickly, because we all been anticipating this Clipse album. So for this to happen so fast in terms of them leaving Def Jam having an issue with the record, and them wanting to censor Kendrick's verse, and them getting a deal with Jay-Z. And shout out to Jay-Z for coming in, off the scoop, quickly, and getting those guys a deal so we can get this album in time. But I still find it. I just want to know what really, really happened. That could be what really happened, but I just feel like in that situation, Def Jam is basically confirming what Drake has been basically alleging since December when the lawsuit dropped, or was it November? So if we get any more news from this, I'll be interested to see. Because, like, again, I'm not a legal expert. I know I'm just applying logic and what I believe to what I think is going on, because this is insane, especially for it to happen this fast. They just signed, like I said, they had just signed with Def Jam in October, and I remember that being a big thing. It's like, okay, cool. But I'm also hearing rumblings that Def Jam ain't really been, and outside looking in, Def Jam ain't been Def Jam in over a decade, probably longer. They don't really have no prominent names over there. They haven't really had no motion like that probably since the early mid-2000s. But from what I'm hearing is people say this is like Def Jam really just dropping the ball is their thing. This is what they do as far as fumbling, notable artists. So, I mean, and now that I think about it, I can't really think about no notable names who've been under Def Jam over the last 5-10 years that's really out here pumping like that. So, I don't know what Def Jam got going on. I don't know who's head over there anymore. But we all know it's not what it used to be. So salute to Jay-Z, because I'm definitely waiting for this album. Ultimately, I just want to hear the music. All this that's going on behind the scenes is just very, very telling. And it really gets into a whole nother conversation about how the music industry be moving and all these tricks and games that they playing around with. But if anybody can inform me about what they think on this matter as well, you can let me know. Again, I just don't see how them taking that verse off, how does that look publicly? You get what I'm saying? And the fact that you would even ask Pusha T to do something like that doesn't even make sense, especially when they said there's no disses towards Drake on that verse. I'm pretty sure they had to hear the verse. So they're not just going to go off of word of mouth. If Pusha is saying there was no disses towards this man, then what is there to discuss? Also, on the flip side, people are saying this is the type of games that Drake's been playing for all these years, censoring artists, that his lawsuit claim is not really in support of artists having freedom and all this. Like, he's basically the puppet master behind all of this. Like, he's censoring people's records. He's telling them, hey, go ahead and kill that over there. We ain't fucking with that. Also, what I found interesting is what Pusha was talking about the Maybach Music 6 verse from Rick Ross and the Pop Smoke verse that he had on his album 2021. Him and Young Thug had a little falling out on social media behind that. But I want to be correct in saying this. Now, I do remember when that Maybach's Music 6 verse was supposed to come, well, not the verse, the song was supposed to drop. This is off his album Port of Miami 2, 2019. Everybody was anticipating this record. It was Ross, Wayne, and Pusha T. Rick Ross decides like 2 days before, a day before. Matter of fact, we didn't even find out till after because the album dropped that Friday. We didn't find out till after when Ross did a radio interview and basically said, "Yeah, I decided that I wasn't gonna go ahead and put the verse on a record because as soon as the album dropped, everybody ran to Maybach Music 6. Everybody ran to it. It was Rick Ross, Pusha T, and Lil Wayne. What did we hear? Ross and Wayne. There was no Pusha T. So if you want to hear that verse, it's only on YouTube. And everybody pretty much was shitting. And then Ross did an interview. I remember a day after or the same day, it was just like, yeah, I just decided that, due to whatever Ross is saying, he decided to take the verse off. This narrative that's being spun now is that, basically Drake has something to do with that. I'm going off of what Ross said. And what Ross said was he decided to take Pusha T's verse off of that record. And even if you hear the record, there's no subliminals towards Drake on that record neither. Let's go to the pop. Let's fast forward to the Pop Smoke song record. So there was a record on Pop Smoke's. I think this was like an album after Shooting for the Stars or something like that, after he passed away. And it was Young Thug and Pusha T supposed to be featured on the record. Young Thug had an issue with Pusha T throwing subs at Drake on the record. Young Thug gets on social media, tells Pusha, "Hey, bro, like, first of all, the verse was too weak, all this back in the third." Pusha T puts out a story like, "Hey, Thug, respectfully, you're not telling me what to do as regards to the verse, The people at the label basically got that taken off or whatever the case." Essentially, we never heard the Pusha T verse on that record. If you go to that album, because I can't remember the name of the song, you would just see that it's Young Thug on that record. Pusha T's verse is not on there. So there's a whole lot of conversation surrounding, Drake having a lot to do with censoring artists. I'm not saying that he's not. I'm not saying that Drake is not at these label meetings behind those boards and saying, "Hey, do this and do that." I'm not there. I don't know. But also at the same time, too, I want y'all to apply logic here. At this time right now, what sense would it make for Drake to go to Def Jam, that's under UMG, who he has a lawsuit against, and be like, "Yeah, make sure that Kendrick verse is not on that record"? Like, bro, we going head to head right now. We have a lawsuit. Like, how you gonna tell us what to do? So I feel like if that was the case, Def Jam acted alone on that. And again, if they did, in my opinion, you're giving Drake the alley-oop in his case against y'all. Okay, y'all have been moving funny. Okay, y'all was collaborating with Kendrick to quote unquote bring me down and all this other stuff. That just doesn't make sense. I don't see Drake over the last couple months going to them and being like, "Yeah, tell them to take that off." Like, bro, like, you got a whole lawsuit against us. What are you talking about? What are you doing? So that's just my logical thinking. I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm just playing. I'm just looking at it from an outside looking in and applying my sense. That it doesn't make sense for me for Drake to go to them and then them listening to this nigga. In the midst of a lawsuit that they have against each other. So I think it's just a whole bunch of funny stuff going on. Like I said, I kind of feel like it's kind of taken away from, I wouldn't say it's ultimately taken away, but I really just want to focus more on the music aspect. You get what I'm saying? I feel like it's kind of been clouding. I want to hear more about Malice and his preparation going into this album. And also, which they talked about. But just as far as the music, let's keep, if they decide to put out another record, I did kind of hear a snippet of a record with Stove God. It's supposed to be on one of the songs on the album. But a lot of this has been, in my opinion, just unnecessary for an album rollout. You get what I'm saying? It didn't make sense. It didn't make sense to me. So we may get some more information on that. Again, this is just my opinion. I am no music legal expert. I don't know. A lot of this stuff is just not making sense to me. It's not at all. It's not. And of course, I believe Pusha is definitely not the type to tell somebody to take no verse off their record. If he wants somebody's verse off a record, he's gonna do it. I don't see Pusha T bound down to nobody and being like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, I'll take it off." And essentially why they left him with the Rock Nation. So I'll definitely be interested to see what more is to come from that. Also, Pusha T spoke on Kanye. And oh man, so we all know how Kanye West has been acting over shit over the last 8 to 10 years now. just wild, reckless, saying whatever the fuck you want to say, disrespecting people, disrespecting people's even their kids, disrespected Jay-Z kids, which was wild. Disrespected Pusha T. So Pusha T had some comments in regards to that. It's usually, and again, this is from the GQ interview. It's usually invigorating to hear Pusha T talk his shit, but there's something sad about seeing such a prolific partnership end like this. We made some great shit, bro. We did, Pusha T acknowledged. But let me tell you something. He's a genius, and his intuition is even more genius level, right? But that's why me and him don't get along because he sees through my fakeness with him. He knows I don't think he's a man. He knows it. And that's why we can't build with each other no more. That's why me and him don't click because he knows what I really, really think of him. He showed me the weakest sides of him and he knows how I think of weak people. I've been saying this shit personally too, bro. Like honestly, Kanye been moving on some sucker shit. That the fact that you put out graduation, late registration, college dropout, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy don't cloud who you are as a person. I've always looked at Kanye as a fake nigga. Always looked at him as a fake nigga, especially since when we start rolling over to the 2015-16 time frame. Like just unnecessary shit, bro. Like, and again, I don't care to know none of these artists on a personal level. I don't care to know none of these entertainers, athletes on a personal level. I'm just going off what I see. And what Kanye has been showing you is who he is. A fake nigga. He's very disrespectful, wild, outlandish, don't give a fuck what he says. So why should I give a fuck about him? Why should Pusha T want to continue to work with Kanye West after he said all no, your beats don't absolve you from your character. Your raps don't absolve you from your character. All the great shit that you do artistically in music don't absolve from your character, bruh. At the end of the day, still a man behind all that. And if we can't build together if you continuously disrespecting me. We can't. What is there to discuss? So I'm not even upset at Pusha T for him having this opinion on Kanye. Like he's worked with Kanye for years. He knows. And had Kanye been displaying this, the man that he's been displaying himself over the last 5-7 years, I don't think Pusha T would even align himself with him when he signed with Good Music back in 2010, 11, somewhere around that time frame. I just don't see it. Just based off of how Pusha T has presented himself, moved himself, I just don't see that aligning. So for him to, when he said he knows I don't think he's a man, he knows it. That tells me that he really despises that nigga now. And it's unfortunate because Pusha T and Kanye, when they come together, they do some great shit. But like I said, that shit cannot come back together if you disrespected me, especially publicly. Especially publicly. If anything, and I always say this, I tell anybody this, any issues that we have with each other, call me, dog. Let's meet up. Let's have a conversation. Shoot me a text, whatever the case may be. The moment you take this shit publicly, we can never be on the same accord again. Never. It can never be the same. It can never be the same. Because I was interested to see if Kanye would have did some production on this album. We all know Kanye and Pharrell in combination with Pusha T, that's like a match made in heaven, bro. That's like a match made in heaven. We all know the last time Kanye produced a full Pusha T album, it was his best album. His best album. Like, it was Grammy nominated. I think it should have won Grammy for Best Rap Album, but come on, man. Daytona was just amazing. And that was Kanye and Pusha T collab. So now it's unfortunate because from an artistic standpoint, from a fan perspective, we just won't see that collaboration again. I feel like, can't say never because the world is so funny. The world's been funny since 2020. Anything can happen. But I just don't see Pusha T, the way that he's been moving throughout his career, aligning himself with Kanye again. So, and I feel like he's burnt a lot of bridges, man. He's not the only one. He's going to continue to burn more bridges because Kanye just don't give a fuck. He don't give a fuck. He's very selfish. He don't care about nobody else's feelings. And he's only going to kick a scream when something don't benefit him no more. That's essentially all it is, bro. That's what it boiled down to when it comes to this guy, man. There's no winning with him. And what you get with him is somebody who's sporadic. It's just wild. It's just wild. So again, I want to definitely want to look into more, and hopefully we get some more information as regards to what happened with this Clipse and UMG thing, and get back into great music, man. Like I said, I love Ace of Trumpets. That's been a great record so far. So I'm definitely anticipating some great music. Hopefully they drop another track. Again, the album drops July 11th. So I can't wait. I can't wait for that. So also we had another falling out in media this week in the news. Trump and Elon Musk. This Trump and Elon Musk fell out. I think what was that? Last week, Tuesday, Wednesday. So the foundation of this fallout is because of Trump's new One Big Beautiful Bill Act, also referred to as OBBBA. So I'm gonna basically break this down in terms of why them two are really going at it. So the bill would extend the major provisions of the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which are set to expire at the end of 2025 and predominantly benefit upper income earners. It includes reductions in non-military government spending and significantly cut spending on supplemental nutrition assistance program and Medicaid through stricter eligibility requirements. It also allocates an additional 150 billion for defense spending, scales back many clean energy tax credits from the Inflation Reduction Act, and increases the state and local deduction from 10,000 to 40,000. The bill is estimated by the Congressional Budget Office to add $2.6 trillion to the national debt. According to CBO preliminary estimate that it would cause 8.6 million Americans to lose Medicaid coverage by 2034, 5.2 million due to a work requirement provision. It contains a number of other provisions, including restrictions on the ability to hold federal officials in contempt for failure to comply with judicial orders. It passed the House of Representatives on May 22nd, 2025, in a 215-214 one vote, largely along party lines. Elon Musk, then the de facto head of Department of Government Efficiency, denounced the bill as massive spending, later called it disgusting abomination. Yeah, the bill is credited with starting a public feud between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Yeah, so that's pretty much that. Elon had a lot of tweets. He basically also pulled out his big joker saying, "Oh, Trump is on the Epstein files. This is why." Da 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 da. Let me say this: I'm not even surprised that this is happening. Elon also said, "Without me, Trump wouldn't have won the election." Okay, bro, but well, ultimately, I'm not surprised at this fallout at all. I'm not, and for all of the motherfuckers who voted for Trump, you shouldn't be surprised. I don't want to hear nobody complaining, bitching, whining, none of that, including Elon Musk. I've seen a lot of Republicans be like, basically, what the fuck is going on? What are you doing? This is who y'all voted for. This is who we seen in the office 2016 to 2020. So you got to lay in that. You got to lay in that. This ultimately affecting Medicaid is really one of the biggest things that stands out to me. You all know a lot of Americans depend on Medicaid. So for that to possibly losing that by 2034, like, come on, bro, that's less than 10 years. And we all know time don't wait for nobody. That's very major. To add $2.6 trillion to the national debt. And also, we haven't had a surplus. We have not had a surplus in the United States as far as our economic well-being since 2001. So we going on 24 years of being in national debt. We haven't had a surplus since 2001. That's just insane. That's wild to me. That's wild to me. But Elon and Trump, this is more some more political bullshit. Some more shit that's gonna continue to play out. Motherfuckers gonna throw subs. They gonna basically bitch and moan, complain, the whole nine. I don't see a situation to where it's I don't know, like Elon Musk tweeted, he said, "I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore. The massive outrageous pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it. Like, but you voted for this man as president, though. Y'all was all lock and step with each other. And let me say this. All this is Elon crying now because something doesn't benefit you no more. So now you want to throw out this big bomb about, oh yeah, Trump he was on the flight list with Epstein. You knew that before. And y'all was all buddy, all hugged up, acting like the best of friends. It didn't matter then. But now, because this is going to affect your pockets, Elon, you have a problem with it. I don't respect shit like that. You can't drop this bomb about him being on the Epstein list all because your pockets may be affected now. You should never align yourself with somebody like that anyway if that was your notion. So all this shit is just fake. It's performative, in my opinion. At the end of the day, you motherfuckers will be all right. Y'all voted for the man, and this is what you're gonna have to accept. And honestly, I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna enjoy this shit because it happens every single time. This shit happened the last time Trump was president. Soon as he got in office, you saw motherfuckers voting for him. Oh, whoa, hold up. What is going on? What is he doing? No, you didn't do your due diligence prior to voting for this man. You didn't do your due diligence. You didn't do your research. And this is the second term. Let's not get it fucked up. This is the second term. So you had way more research and more shit to look up background wise. Should have went off his last term, bro. So no, I don't feel sorry for none of you motherfuckers. None of y'all. This is what you get. You made your bed, you gotta lay in it. that's how I look at this shit. You made your bed, you have to lay in it, bro. So I don't really got too much for that. I mean, this whole falling out is gonna continue to play out for the rest of the year, and there's gonna be more pillars that fall behind this whole shit. Them two won't be the only one to fall out. Trump and somebody else might fall out. Elon might fall out with somebody else who align with Trump. You never know. This whole shit is just a shit show. It's comedy. It's all comedy to me at the end of the day. There is some seriousness that needs to be highlighted as well. Again, as far as this Medicaid, the national debt, military defense, all of that. But ultimately, I care about that Medicaid. Healthcare overall is still, I feel like in 2025 still shouldn't be an issue for America. You look at other countries, their healthcare plans, we should be in a place where there shouldn't be nobody walking around with affordable healthcare who can't even get it, period. You got people who usually be making decisions job-wise just based off of healthcare coverage and costs. That should never be a thing. It should usually just be about the money. But people are either losing jobs or getting jobs due to health benefits, lack thereof, the cost. Man, I remember one time, and shout out to health insurance. I remember years ago, this is 2016, I had a kidney stone. I wasn't in the hospital long. I went up there. Actually, I passed it at the house, but I didn't know until I got to the hospital. Long story short, I get up there. They put me through the big ass scan that, they put you under and they roll you on the big circle ass scan. Get home, they send you the bill probably about like 2-3 weeks later. That bill alone was like $1,200. 970 of it was for them to just put me through that little scan. Now, granted, again, I had great coverage, so I didn't have to pay. My copay wasn't that much. I probably had to pay $200 or $300 of that. Might have been $300 to $400 of that. But dog, even you just going to the emergency room is expensive. An emergency room visit could range somewhere in between $800 to $1,200. A lot of people don't have that. We talking about just an emergency room. So imagine somebody without no healthcare coverage. Unfortunately, God forbid, they have a real health scare, an emergency. They have to go to emergency room. Boom, all through it. That's $1,200. They can't afford that, bro. Then what happens? You get sent to collections, fucking up your credit, pulling from your paycheck, the whole nine. It's just a domino effect. So America definitely needs to get back into a better place as far as healthcare coverage, because this shit is just unacceptable. It doesn't make any sense. So that's it for Trump and Elon. Like I said, they'll continue to play out, go at each other's heads and all that whole shit. So Lil Wayne dropped the Carter 6 on Friday. This is the 6th installment of the Carter series. And let me just, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. It was a 2-pack of ass. It was not a good album at all. It was 19 tracks. I believe, let me see. Hold on, my bad, y'all. Yeah, it had 19 tracks, and I'm not even a fan of long track albums like that anyway. For me, I prefer the 12 to 15 range. That's what I prefer. But this Carter 6 was terrible. Again, 2-pack of ass. Get it out of here. Get it out. It wasn't delivered at all. Everybody know Wayne is my GOAT. He will forever be my GOAT. I'm not judging him as far as his whole legacy on this album, but it did not deliver at all. A lot of the rapping wasn't good. Some of it was okay. But the production, this got to go down as one of the worst rap albums all time as far as production. It just literally was like, hey, bro, whatever beat that you got, go ahead and put that shit on. I'll get in the booth. And that's what I'm going to do. I think Wayne just was like, whatever you got in that file, that beat right there, yeah, go ahead, load that up, and I'm gonna go ahead and get in the booth and just start rhyming words. And I always say this, when it comes to delivering rap albums, production matters a lot, bro. There's a whole bunch of niggas who can just rap. Well, what is the production behind that? What's your flow like? Getting in a certain pocket. You just not rhyming words, like witty wordplay, shit like that. I'm big on wordplay. No, this was just a whole bunch of rhyming words over trash beats. And Wayne is better than that. And over the last, 5-7 years, a lot of people would say that Wayne hasn't really delivered. So what did you expect? And I would agree with that. But Wayne has been solidified to me since in between that 2004-2010 time frame. After 2010, Wayne didn't have to do nothing for me. But as regards as this album alone, pack it up. There's nothing else to discuss. Like, he shouldn't even be performing no records off this album. That's how bad this album is. I really didn't understand the features on this shit neither. He had an artist called Lil Novi. Alone in the Studio with My Gun with MGK and Kodak Black. Come on, bro. What are we doing? Ass. The Days with Bono. Trash. Sharks with Jelly Roll and Big Sean. Bad. Even though Big Sean did somewhat have an okay verse on there. Hip Hop with Big X the Plug. No. Like, none of this is good. None of it is good. It will get no replay value. And I think what I want from Wayne is, if he's going to continue to rap, I would be okay with him over features. Because we all have credited Wayne's feature run since about 2020, 2021. He has no problem getting on records and killing features. But I remember somebody took, because the big one that everybody was clowning was Peanuts to an Elephant. Somebody put that verse over the Mutt Beat by Leon Thomas. And I will say, that sounds a whole lot different on that record. This is why I say production matters a lot. The beat matters a lot when delivering a rap album. Anybody can just get in there and just rap. But you got to be able to put it together. And like I said, the production on this, I don't know who he need to get with if he wants to put out another album, but this cannot happen again. This can't happen again. Like I said, Lil Wayne will forever be my GOAT. He's not moving off my spot, because another side of this conversation I've been seeing is people, they're acting as if Wayne has always been in their top 5, and he hasn't been in your top 5. He hasn't. Why are we having legacy conversations about Wayne in 2025? Oh, yeah, this is the album that Wayne gets taken out my top 5. Bro, he was never in your top 5. Let's cut this shit. Say what you really want to say. The album is ass, and this is what you've been saying for years. That's fine. But don't mask it as if this man has always been one of your favorites. He hasn't been one of your favorites. Because a lot of you niggas has just been waiting in the cut, wait for him to drop another dud so you can continue your narrative. But don't dress it up as if this man has been in your top 5. No. Because nobody who has him in the top 5 would even say, yeah, the Carter 6 is the one that's going to take him out my top 5. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? That shit don't even make sense. Say what you really want to say. Say what you really want to say. If Wayne has never been one of your favorites, that's fine. I don't give a fuck who y'all like. I always say that. It's not about who you like. Just be consistent on your stances, bro. Like, stop. I literally seen guys say with a straight face, even Rosenberg talking about, this is why we continue to question Wayne's ability over the last such and such years, and why, at some point you can't be regarded as one of the GOATs. Says you, Peter. Says you, not others. Not others. And a lot of y'all are being disingenuous, because this is another reason why a lot of this is stemming off the Super Bowl shit. And y'all don't want to admit that neither. So instead of keeping it a buck, what you want to do is you want to try to hide it under the guise of this album, when essentially you still trying to kill him for the Super Bowl shit, which may be well warranted. If that's how you feel, bruh, cool. But at the same time, too, you should be able, Wayne did some whack shit with that Super Bowl shit. I'm not defending that at all. That was some whack shit. That was Kendrick's moment. You should have let him have that. You should have let that part of it alone. Cool. But you're using this as a reason to push your narrative as well. And honestly, because I know Wayne is going on tour, I hope. I would even I'm not even a concert goer. If I was to go to one of his shows, I probably would sell a ticket. Just because I don't know what the fuck he's going to perform. Because I don't want to hear nothing off this album. Nothing. And like I said, this album deserves all the slander it gets. Every last bit of it. Because I really want to know what even the marketing. There was no marketing behind this. I anticipated it being bad because there was no marketing behind this album. We just got the announcement like a week before. Matter of fact, that Monday that the album was dropping that Friday, like, bro, what the fuck is going on? There was no lead up single, nothing. So when I heard that the Carter 6 was dropping that on Monday, this past Friday, I was like, yeah, this is gonna be. I anticipated it being a dud because Wayne usually don't carry himself like that as far as rolling out an album. So I don't know if this is something just to throw out there, but this is definitely, hey, bro, let's just go out here and make some shit stick. And honestly, he got to lead the Carter 6 series. He got to lead the Carter series alone at this point. My nigga, you at 6 now. Honestly, Wayne should have stopped the Carter series at the 3. That's my personal opinion. Carter 4 was cool. 5 was This was just a complete tragedy, bro. Complete tragedy. He needs to lead the Carter series alone. And I think a lot of the times, I think Wayne suffers from what Eminem has been suffering from, in my opinion, over the last 5-7 years, which is just loving rap so much that you think rapping is just enough. Wayne is very lyrical. He has witty wordplay. But it comes a time where, again, that's just not enough. You really got to sit down and make shit kind of make sense. This is not a content argument that I'm making. I don't give a fuck about the content. I'm not somebody who says, oh, Wayne has to mature in his raps and all that. I'm not saying that at all. But when you just get in a booth and you just start rhyming shit, nah. Wayne used to paint pictures with his words. It used to be like, hold on, bro, let me rewind. How the fuck he made that? Like, his metaphor game was crazy. This shit here is just like saying sun and honey bun. Like, where's the connection between a sun and a honey bun? That's basically what the fuck a lot of the rapping was on this shit. A lot of it. You might have had one verse on here that was kind of like, okay, cool. But the production was so ass, you didn't pay the shit no attention. You didn't get a shit no burn because the production was that bad. Everybody needs to be held accountable for this project. Every single person. If you was in the studio just sitting down smoking a blunt or drinking some Fiji water, whatever the case may be, you deserve to be held accountable. Everybody. Because this shit was disgusting. It was ridiculous. And I want Wayne to be better. And at this point, I really don't care for Wayne to give me another album. Like I said, he's been solidified for me since 2010. So anything that he's done after is just like, hey, it is what it is. I'm not judging him from a legacy standpoint. Everything that he's put out after, I'm just judging the projects alone. But this shit here was just a 2-pack of ass, bro. And a waste of time, in my opinion. You wasted time, resources, because you're better than that, Wayne. Especially based off of the features that you've been doing over the last 4 or 5 years. So I'm to the point now where it come to Lil Wayne. Bro, if you just give me features, I'm fine. You just need to be riding off into the sunset anyway. Wayne has been rapping since 1995. That's a long time. Wayne has been rapping bulk of his life. Literally seeing Wayne come up like 97 with the Hot Boys. 98, 99, he drops his debut. From 99 to 2025, bro, that's a long time. That's 26 years rapping. That's a long time. Like, you're stamped. He needs to just ride off into the sunset. Like I said, hop on some features, perform your classics, and be done with it. If this is the type of production you're gonna put out on your own, because I'm not the person that says either as you get older in rap you need to stop rapping. No, rap is the only genre where it's shame to still be rapping when you get older. You don't hear that shit in country music. You don't hear that shit in pop music. You don't hear that shit in rock music. These motherfuckers be 75 years old still putting out albums and touring. No problem. Rap. Ageism. It's a lot of ageism in rapping. That shit has to stop. I don't like that shit. These guys should be able to be 50 years old, 60 years old, and still put out rap albums if they want. Pusha T is 48. Malice is 52. And they about to put out an album. I want to hear that. Their age don't matter to me. I still want to hear that shit. So as you continue to get older, you 100% should still be rapping. If that's what you want to do. But take it serious, though. Take it serious, bro. Take it serious. So that's pretty much all I got on that. Like I said, Wayne, just be better. Just be better. So, NBA Finals, Game 1 ended on a game winner by Tyrese Halliburton. And like I said, y'all gonna have to start giving me my props, bro. Y'all gonna have to start giving me my props, man. I'm sorry, bro. Let me go ahead. Let me load this clip up for y'all real quick, man, because niggas had me fucked up. Where we at with it? because I know I got it somewhere. Hold up. Where we at? Give me 1 second, y'all. I got you. Here we go. This is from last week. This is what I said about the Pacers. I think it's going to be a great finals, and I don't think this is just going to be a walk in the park for the Thunder. I don't. I really don't see them just dragging the Pacers. I can see a situation where Indiana goes down there Thursday and they handling business in them first 2 games. I'm not saying they're going to take the first 2, but if they had to take a game, it's going to be game 1. It's going to be game 1. We all know they can hold serve at home. They can get busy at home, but if they think this is going to be a walk in the park, they got another thing coming. So, like I said, everybody, I seen niggas predicting the sweep. I seen niggas say this shit gonna go 5 in OKC's favor. And I'm like, I don't see that. This is a great team that these niggas is playing, man. The Pacers are a great team. And also, they weren't predicted to be here. So they essentially playing with house money, bro. There's no pressure on the Pacers. There's no pressure on the Pacers to win this series, bro. For real. They're not. We all know they got to the ECF last year. They got swept. But there was no expectations for the Pacers to get to the finals this year. None at all. Now, the Thunder, for the last 2-3 years, SGA, all NBA, MVP caliber seasons, 60-win-plus team. They won 68 games this year. And I'm seeing niggas saying now, SGA is just SGA and a bunch of guys. All right, bro. Now it's SGA and a bunch of guys. Bro, you niggas are shameless, bro. I swear niggas are shameless. When it comes to these niggas that y'all like, bro, boy, y'all be moving the motherfucking goalposts, bro. I swear. This shit was insane. Let's take a look at this box score. So the Pacers, well-balanced scoring again. Pascal Siakam, 19 points. Aaron Nesmith, 10 points. Miles Turner, 15 points. Andrew Nembhard, 14 points. Tyrese Halliburton, 14 points. Obi topping off the bench, 17 points. TJ McConnell, 9 points. Mathurin added another 5. Like, come on, they shot, what did they shoot? They shot 46% from 3. And they shot 47% overall. Let's move on to the Thunder. Chet Holmgren, 6 points. Jalen Williams, 17 points. SGA, 38. Lou Dort, 15 points. Carson Wallace, who's in the starting lineup, 6 points. Off the bench, you had Isaiah Hartenstein, 9 points. Alex Caruso, 11 points. These niggas shot 36% from 3. They shot 39% overall. Not good enough. Not enough production from Chet Holmgren. And a lot of you niggas said Chet Holmgren was going to be better than Wemby. I didn't forget that. I did not forget that shit. You niggas can go to hell. It was never close in that comparison. But back to this finals. Jalen Williams, he got to be better, man. Jalen Williams continues to be up and down in this fucking playoffs, bro. Up and down, up and down, up and down. You're going to be the number 1-2 on a 68-win team. You got to be consistent. You got to be getting at 20 a night consistently, Jalen Williams. Lou Dort, I don't really got too much for Lou Dort. He put up 15. I pretty much expect that from him. Carson Wallace, if you're going to be in the lineup getting 33 minutes, you got to produce more than 6 points, bro. Rather, and maybe doing some other things like getting assists, getting steals. But Chet Holmgren, there's no reason why Chet Holmgren should not be putting up 20 and 10 every night. No reason. There's no reason Chet Holmgren should not be putting up 20 and 10 every night. On the season, he averaged 15 and 8. That needs to be up higher. You're in the finals now, bro. Especially going up against the Pacers, who are well balanced. And you 7-1. He be getting hold on the block, bro. Chet Holmgren be getting hold on the block. Just getting ragged on. A lot of it is due to his size, his stature. But he got to be better, bro. This shit is insane. I do think the Thunder take game 2. I do think they take game 2. I still have the series going 6-7. And fuck it, bro. I'm gonna go with the Pacers, bro. Like, I honestly, like, I was kind of on the fence, and I lean towards the Thunder because they are a 68-win team. But when you got a Pacers team who ain't got nothing to lose and they riding with momentum, is them against the world. Oh my God, Tyrese Halliburton shitting on you niggas for that overrated ranking this year, boy. Y'all rated this nigga the most overrated player in the league this year, and that nigga said, all right. It shot out again to Tyrese Halliburton for his sneaker. He debuted his signature sneaker and hit a game winner in NBA Finals Game 1. You can't write a better script than that. You can't write a better script than that, my nigga. You can't make that shit up. And he was showing you niggas on Twitter too. Shit. These niggas are they got the Thunder. Y'all better tighten the fuck up. Y'all got to tighten the fuck up because these niggas can win the championship. They can. And I'm going to roll with the Pacers at 6, bro. I think these niggas are just that good, bro. Like, you can, and this would be the 4th game they're down 15 or plus and come back and win this game. Like, these niggas are just clicking on all cylinders. And ultimately, what they have confidence. And a team that's not supposed to win with confidence is damn near 100 overall. Especially when they're not expected to win. Nobody for real outside their fan base has them winning this finals, bro. Nobody. And they damn sure didn't have them take a game 1 and game 2. They didn't. I seen all the predictions. Trust me. I seen them. Niggas had this shit going up 2-0 going back to Indy. But it's looking like Pacers are going to take this shit at 6. I'm sorry. We got to start giving the credit. We can't continue to do this thing with the Thunder with it. Well, the other team, well, the Thunder didn't do this. That's not my problem. At the end of the day, you're a 68-win team. You need to be going out there and doing what a 68-win team needs to be doing. Establishing dominance. And you're not doing that. The Pacers are inflicting that. That's what they're doing. So y'all fuck around. All the pressure is on the Thunder to take game 2. And we all know the Pacers can take the first 2 games on the road. We all know they can do that. So if y'all don't step y'all shit the fuck up, it's gonna get ugly for y'all going back to Indy. And I know that crowd is gonna be on. Oh my God, that crowd is gonna be amazing. I already know that crowd is gonna be on one, bro. Woo, that shit is gonna be crazy, bro. NBA Finals presentation. Let me get on that. I don't know. I see this excuse that the reason why they don't put the trophy in the center of the floor anymore is due to health concerns. The fuck I look like? You really expect for me to believe that, Adam Silver? That the reason why y'all don't got the trophy in the middle of the floor anymore is due to health concerns. Y'all don't have no problem putting the other sponsors, YouTube TV, that I know y'all getting billions from, on the sideline. You got the decal on the sideline. You don't even got the NBA Finals logo on the corners, like on the corners around the 3-point line, shit like that. Y'all don't even got them over there. It's the NBA Finals, bro. How the fuck is your in-season tournament courts got more effort than the NBA Finals courts? And I'm not saying they got to be extravagant, but you can't even put the NBA Finals decal on the floor? And your excuse for not having a trophy in the middle of the floor is health reasons. Y'all continue to let Adam Silver play in y'all faces, bro. That shit not getting over with me. I'm sorry. Nigga, cut the shit. Cut the shit. At the end of the day, y'all care about money. Let's just call it what it is. You got the YouTube TV logo on the sides, on the sidelines, bro. You can't miss it. You can't simply put the NBA Finals signature on inside the 3-point lines on each end of the court. Even if you don't put the trophy in the middle, you can't put the NBA Finals logo by the 3-point lines. You really expect for me to believe that, Adam? Health reasons. Stop it, bro. But this is what I always say. At the end of the day, when it comes to these sports leagues, money trumps everything. What the fuck we care about YouTube TV, bro? This is the NBA Finals. Again, how the fuck your in-season tournament courts look better than the NBA Finals court, bro? That don't make no fucking sense. None at all, bro. So Adam Silver needs to step his shit up. And even with this World Star, this All-Star game format, now Adam Silver says he wants to go to a USA versus World format. No. What are we doing? So now you're going to have some players who are deserving of an All-Star spot, but because you got to fill the World roster and the USA roster, some motherfuckers are going to be getting snubbed. No. Go back to East versus West and put some more stipulations on the game. That's the only way you're going to get these players to play better. It ain't money. And I said this last year. It's not money. Money is not going to make these players play more. They already get incentives for making all-star appearances and all NBA appearances in their contract. They think we so fucking stupid. I don't understand what these players be thinking, bro. I remember when they said that earlier this year, like, oh, we'll play harder for one. Motherfucker, a lot of y'all already get incentives in your personal contracts for making all-star appearances in all NBA teams. You think we fucking stupid? So you're telling me you're going to get in an all-star game and play harder if you get more money? No. Adam Silver, you need to do better. You need to do better. kill that USA versus World format, bro. Go back to East versus West. Don't even let these players pick their teams no more. Just go back to how it used to be. East versus West. Go off the fan voting and do the starting rosters based off of the voting shit. Because these players don't give a fuck at the end of the day. Don't give the players no more decisions on nothing. Because they don't give a damn. And you, Adam, are not holding them accountable enough. Now, I will give you a little bit of credit for the in-season tournament. That was kind of a good thing. You're doing a 65-game implement as far as being deserving of awards and all NBA teams. I do like that because these motherfuckers got to play games. You're not about to play 40 games and be in an all NBA team, bro. Sorry. Can't do that. Not going to happen. But this USA versus World format is super ass. It doesn't make any sense. Literally doesn't make any sense, bro. Can that. Get it the fuck out of here. Sorry. Also in NBA news, we had Thibs get fired. Tom Thibodeau, I already knew was going to be the scapegoat. Cat is the scapegoat. What I don't understand is, what are you going to get better? Oh, I already know what the writing on the wall is. Y'all going to go ahead, y'all going to get Mike Malone and bring him in here. Then when he don't do what Thibs was supposed to do as far as winning the championship, you're going to get him out of here. But because he's a Queens native, you know, he got fired from Denver. It's a perfect layup. It's a perfect layup. They need to just go ahead and speed that up. We all know what the play is. You're going to get Mike Malone in there. But Thibs continues to be, and I understand, Thibs, a lot of people still don't like his coaching style. He plays his starters a lot of minutes. He's very heavily defensive based, which I like. Thibs is still a great coach, man. You don't have a coaching job this long I put a lot of playoff success on the coaches. Like when you get deep in the playoffs continuously, or you make playoff appearances, and with the rosters that Thibs has done it with over his career, that deserves a lot of credit. Thibs 100% deserves to be a coach in this league. I wasn't a fan of us firing him in Chicago. I wasn't. I kind of understood it because, you know, it kind of ran its course and, you know, people still was kind of feeling that whole thing with him and Derrick Rose. Okay, cool. Some things come to an end. But Thibs, I still would be fine if Thibs was my coach. At least I would be in the playoffs, at least getting out the first or second round, I feel like. Especially with a certain roster construction that Thibs would have had, because he has a lot of influence on that. But Thibs shouldn't have got fired, bro. The Knicks don't need to make drastic changes. You got to the ECF, you lost to a better team. That's all that happened. You don't need to trade Cat. I'm seeing that be a thing. All the Knicks need to do is find a better backup point guard, because campaign not it, who can produce, get buckets. Get you a nice backup point guard that can get buckets. And get Mikal Bridges out of New York. That's all you need to do. You don't need to make no drastic changes. I don't understand why Cat needs to be in trade talks when Cat has led two different teams in back-to-back years, helped lead to a conference final. He moves the needle. What the fuck you going to trade him for? I'm hearing talks about Cat being traded for KD. And do what? And I love KD. But what works in New York is working. You just lost. Again, the Pacers got their ass smoked by the Celtics last year in the ECF. Got swept. What they do? They ran it back. They're in the finals. Knicks do the same fucking thing. You don't need to make no drastic changes. This is the exact same roster the Pacers had last year. The Knicks don't need to make no drastic changes, bro. You just fired your coach. You didn't need to do that. Now you have those rumors of trading Cat. Stupid. Get a better backup point guard than campaign and trade Mikal Bridges. That's all you need to do. That's it. Do that and you will be fine. But all this other, I hate when teams just want to get in a panic mode after they just reach the conference final, bro. You don't need to hit the panic button, bro. Sometimes you just lose to a better team. The Pacers were a better team. That's ultimately what it was. There's no big blame to go around and all this other shit. You weren't expected to get to the ECF anyway. You weren't expected to beat Boston. Nobody had y'all beating Boston. So y'all reaching the ECF for the first time since 1999 is major. Build on that. You don't need to make drastic changes, bro. You don't. Get it together, Knicks. Don't hit that panic button in free agency neither. So, next, some NFL news. You had Aaron Rodgers finally signed with the Steelers. Good, because that motherfucker been pimping y'all out for a whole 3-4 months now. I've never seen the Steelers go out like this. This is ridiculous. We're not talking about 2015 Aaron Rodgers, 2020 Aaron Rodgers. 2020 Aaron Rodgers might be one of the greatest top two quarterbacks I've ever seen. Straight up. 2020 and 2021 Aaron Rodgers, that might be a top 2 quarterback all time. No bullshit. 48 and 5 interceptions, going crazy. But Aaron Rodgers in 2025, he not moving no needle like that. He not. And for y'all to be this, for y'all to let him drag y'all along this whole process is just pathetic in my opinion, man. He been pimping y'all niggas out, bro. I don't understand it. So Aaron Rodgers signed his 1-year deal with the Steelers. That shit didn't make no sense at all. But we'll see how that unfolds. It's a 1-year deal. I also seen that Terry Bradshaw wasn't too fond of that signing either. He wasn't fucking with that at all. He wasn't feeling that. So I'm be interested to see how that works out. Also, what what else had? This was funny. We had Lance Stevenson versus Michael Beasley in a 1-on-1 game. A lot of high intensity in that game. I think it was the first 2 minutes. Lance Stevenson almost got into it. I think with one of Michael Beasley homeboys on the side. You know, you had people outside, and it was a half court setting. Had them boys, you know, on the outskirts, like on some real street ball shit. Lance Stevenson pushed somebody. Ultimately, Michael Beasley won this game. I think they played for 100 racks or something like that. But that might need that should be something that you add to All-Star Weekend, actually. The 1-on-1 tournament shit. I think you'll get a lot more engagement and a lot more willing participants as far as NBA players to go out there and perform if you do a 1-on-1 tournament, because niggas' egos ain't going to get disrespected on no national platform. That's what you need to do. How about that? How about you go 1 year, get about 3 games of a 1-on-1 tournament in the All-Star Weekend. Just 3 games. Get 6 players, 3 games, 1-on-1 tournament, first to 11, and let's do it like that and see how that goes. Because that was actually a good turning out. I saw the game. It was a good game. Michael Beasley still got it, doing his thing. Lance played a good game too, but ultimately Michael Beasley, he got busy. He said he was going to do what he was going to do. So salute to them for doing that. Also, I want to salute Coco Guaff. She won her 2nd major title, and also, let me see, because this was also major. Let me see. Coco Guaff became... I got it right here. Coco Guaff becomes first U.S. woman to win French Open in a decade. She won it for the first time since Serena Williams won it in 2015. Excuse me. So salute to Coco Guaff, man. She's having a great start to her career. She got a long career ahead of her. Coco Guaff is, I believe, just 20. Yeah, she's 21 years old. Long career ahead of her. Long career ahead of her, man. So I want to salute to her, give her props. Well deserved. Keep on climbing and breaking records. I hope she breaks them all. Records are meant to be broken. And again, she's only 21 years old, so she got a long career ahead of her. Long career. Salute to Coco Guaff. So yeah, man, that's pretty much all I got this week, y'all. Again, I want to thank y'all for kicking it with me again this week. We on episode 5, man. I can't believe I already got 5 episodes in, man. Time waits for nobody, man. Time waits for nobody. I'm ready to go ahead and tackle this week. Hopefully, y'all are ready to tackle this week as well. Again, don't let the little things get to you. Continue to set benchmarks for yourself. Go in there and knock shit out. Get in the gym. Please get in the gym. I'm gonna always emphasize that. Get in the gym. You'll be surprised at how much your life changes when you get in the gym and you start and be consistent with the gym. So please get in the gym. Even when you don't feel like going, go. Because you'll never be like, damn, I shouldn't have went to the gym. And that's some real shit. You never go to the gym when you don't feel like it and leave the gym and saying, damn, I shouldn't have came. You'll be like, I'm glad I came. So please continue to get into the gym. Continue to set goals for yourself. Continue to set yourself a standard. Continue to put work towards those goals. And just please, ultimately, be safe. Like I say always, also, like, share, subscribe. It don't cost nothing to like, share, and subscribe to this. Want to run this up, get my subs up, get my likes up. And ultimately, again, thank y'all for kicking it with me. So, this is I'm Not Repeating Myself podcast. I'm your host, Mike. And I hope you heard what I said the first time, because I'm not repeating myself. I'm out.